what would you suggest would be like the next step for us after we, get our certifications, and finish this whole cybersecurity process? What should I look forward to?
I think the key will be finding the role that best suits you and what you want to do in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a broader field than just one thing, right? It's not just one thing. So I think what interests you, is it offensive security? Do you really want to kind of break into systems? Is that your interest, right? Or do you want to defend systems? Do you want to be in a security operations center where you're with a bunch of analysts and you're analyzing data? You like being in the weeds of data and analyzing that and coming up with strategies and finding the little threads that point to the fact that someone had snuck in. And if you're like an investigator, that might be something you really like to do. Or maybe you're more like an auditor, right? You want to come in and look at how people are doing things, how their processes are running. And maybe you want to help improve those processes, right? And make sure that they're doing the right thing that's going to make them be more successful. Or maybe you're a teacher by nature and you want to do security awareness training and things like that. Maybe you want to help other people get their certifications. So I think the career is broad enough for you to do many different things. I think the certifications give you a good, solid groundwork of any number of things you could potentially do in the career field. Find that thing that kind of interests you. And I think over time, again, I'm not talking in general, I'm looking at faces here. Some of you are younger than me, a lot. Some of you maybe a little bit younger than me, maybe a lot younger than me, but you've lived some life by now though, right? So this is not, I don't think I have any 18-year-olds, right? 19-year-olds that haven't lived any life, right? So you've lived enough life that you started to figure out, hey, I'm pretty good at this thing, right? And I like doing it. So I'm a logical thinker. I like to take things apart. So use that as you're going through these certifications. Think about what you're interested in and then try to shape your career that way, right? That would be my advice, is like, what am I good at automatically? Because here's the truth, right? You want someone to pay you for it, right? And if you already start from, before I even got my cybersecurity certifications, I was already good at talking with people. I was already good at being an investigator. I was already good. I have a friend who's a private investigator. He would be great at some of these. So that's that concept, right? It's what am I already good at? And then how do I apply what I'm learning now to shape my career into something that's going to really interest me and that I want to do? Because remember, no matter what your first step is, this is the first step. I don't want you to think like, oh, I got my certifications, I'm done. I'm taking this step, and then where do I want to go down the rabbit hole? Right. So that's where then you're going to really start getting into the, more and more stuff as your job progresses and your career progresses. So my advice is use what you're already good at, because when we're 18, we don't know much about what we're interested in. That's the reality, right? People ask us to pick a career when we know the least about ourselves. But now that we've gotten a little bit of maturity, we've gotten a little bit more trauma, a little bit more issues, right? And things have gotten messy. Now we're like, okay, now I figured out kind of what I want to do. And even if you haven't, this is a great place to learn. Because like I mentioned, right, those are just 4 of the career ideas I have. Cybersecurity is broad enough to go even beyond that.